Streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, it is Table Talk number 30. I am Mo Lightning. Your comments, questions, all of that very much welcome. So go ahead, drop us one. Lindsay is to my left. Lindsay with an E. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. And I'm going to put all the pressure on our regular celebrity host to give our guest a huge entrance, the WWE Hall of Famer, Dvon Dudley. How are you, Dvon?
I'm doing great. And, I'm ecstatic about our guests. And I think it's only one fitting way to introduce our guest. So here goes. Oh, Table Talk. Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous 8-time champs and feel the power. It's Big E. Yes, it is.
Well done, sir. Well done. I'm humbled.
Big E, welcome to Table Talk, man. It's been an honor to have you on the show. I know there's been some mix-up with the schedule with WWE trying to get you on, certain things that they wanted to do with you, and then, of course, trying to get you on Table Talk. But we finally got you on. Thank you for coming on and joining Lindsay and Mo and myself. And it's an honor and a pleasure, man.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So right off the bat, we had somebody be difficult, with your entrance. Don't you dare be sour. AC says he's going to be sour. What happens when somebody is sour?
That's on you, man. That's you have to wake up and you have to go to sleep every day knowing that that's how you want to live your life. So I mean, do what you want. You know what I mean? That's I'm not the legislator of who's. I just try to encourage people to not be sour, trying to help you out. But if you want to wreck your life, I'm not gonna
Oh, Big E, you better testify, my brother. Testify.
There he is.
Preach.
Wow.
So let me ask you this. All right, sir. You're obviously a very well-accomplished tag team champion. What's more important to you, the number of reigns or the length of the title reigns?
So I would say the length of the reigns, because the point is not to win you don't want to win the title and lose it the next day. You want to hold on to it as long as possible. So like number of reigns is cool. I think people get caught up in that, and I get why it's easier to remember. But yeah, like if I held a title for 20 days and I had 10 titles, like that's not that impressive. But if I held it for 900 days, which actually I think today is our 900th day of being tag champs, that's pretty that's pretty impressive, I'd say.
Damn right that is. Yep, I think the Dudley boys held on for maybe a total of like 90 days with all of their run.
Listen, we only held them to drop them to the next babyface tag team that came in the picture. So we didn't keep them that long. It was a testament to how long that the New Day has held the titles, and again, very proud of those guys. And it was only fitting that when the Dudley boys returned back to the WWE, that we were able to get in the ring and start a program right away with the New Day. And again, I told them on their podcast, YouTube video, that it was an honor. It was really an honor to be with Big E, Kofi, and Xavier. Not to mention, for an old man like me to be able to hang with the 3 young stallions, that was great for me. I was excited.
Bro, you're too much. You're too much.
So was that your when you returned, Dvon? Was that the first time that you guys had met, or had you guys worked together in the past somewhere?
Well, I had known Xavier because Xavier was in TNA.
Right.
So I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Big E and Kofi. I only saw them by watching the show. And the funny thing about it is, when we were in TNA, that other godforsaken place, when we were in TNA. I stopped watching WWE, and I didn't watch it for a long time. So when there was an opportunity for the Dudley boys to come back, I basically had to watch the show to learn who everybody was. But the thing about it was, I had known Big E and known Kofi from watching the show here and there during my years at TNA. So I knew who they were, but there were a lot of guys I didn't know. Like, it caught me by surprise when the Usos were on there, because I had no idea that they had came in and followed in Rikishi's footsteps. I had no idea. And I remember during WrestleMania 17, 16, and 20 when they used to come to the arena as little kids. Now all of a sudden they're in the WWE freaking kicking our asses. So it was weird, man. It really was. But it was the first time I ever met Biggie and Kofi.
Okay. All right. So what did you think? I mean, were you a Dudley's fan in your younger days there, Big E, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, too, for us, like if you're going to be in the a part of the tag team division, which we had, like we entered wanting to be a stable, and we just kind of got, I don't want to say pigeonholed, but we got pushed into really just running with the tag stuff until Kofi had his world title run. But for us, it was like you always want to build your resume and work with some of the best teams around, and for us, it was so huge. I think it was the night after SummerSlam. That you guys came out, we were in Brooklyn, and I just remember that reaction was incredible. And as much as that was about the Dudleys, it's so cool for us to be a part of those really memorable moments. Like same thing with the Hardys return. Like that wasn't about us. We just hosted and we got to kind of tease that we might get involved in the match, but then it was the Hardys. Like it's so cool for me to look back and you'll have the highlights of the Dudleys return, the highlight of the Hardys return. And even if we're the ones just getting bounced around or we're the ones just off in the corner, it's so important for us to have these memorable moments with some of the greatest tag teams of all time, because these are the guys, like as braggadocious as we can be, we look up to the Hardys, to the Dudleys, to the Dvons. Like that, those are the teams that like we strive to put on the kinds of matches that they did. Like that's the goal. That's the that touchstone. So it means a lot for us to kind of rub elbows with some of the greats. So it was big for us. And something that we always remember. I remember how excited Woods was because he's known Dvon for now over a decade. And it was such a memorable moment. And that pop, that reaction, man, that's the stuff of that you'll remember for the next 15, 20 years because it was incredible.
It was it's what they call that Road Warriors pop.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's funny. All the years of me and Bubba being in the company, sure, we had great reactions and things like that, but I think that was the best. And I think I remember telling my kids, if I died tomorrow, I'd be satisfied with what I've done in the business after that pop. It was that good of a reaction from the people. But I guess being gone for 10 years and then coming back for, after so long. I mean, even though we were in TNA was on the, what was it, TNT, whatever station they were on. We were still out in the public eye, but still at the same token, we were gone from the WWE. There was still a bunch of fans that didn't know who we were. The new generation that came in, they probably heard about us, but didn't know who the Dudleys were. And so us coming back that year was a very, very big thing for us.
Now, one thing I love about the New Day and what you guys have been doing is the fact that you guys are still a team after all this time. There's not the breakups. There's not the turns. Dare I say that you guys are the new Undertaker WrestleMania streak? It's like this is the unbreakable that should never end.
I mean, I won't go that far. I won't put us on that pedestal. But well, you're too much. I appreciate that. So I just think we have something special. And even 6 years in, I still feel like it's very rare to find a genuine bond that the three of us have. And there's so many opportunities. Like I get from a wrestling perspective that people want to see something different or unique, but there's so many opportunities that we've had as a trio outside of just the ring. We've been able to win all these tag titles, but there's so much if you look at WWE, you have to think of it as a company. And there's so much that we do as far as appearances, as far as video game stuff. There's so many outside projects. And as cool as the singular moment of us breaking up might be for some, tell me, besides the Shield, it's very rare that you have a breakup where all three benefit. That's do you really foresee us breaking up and a year from now, Woods is on a roll, Kofi's on a roll, and I'm on a roll at the same time? It's not really going to happen. The chances are very slim because we're just not booked in that way. So I feel like we're still contributing to the show in a meaningful way. I still feel like we do stuff that's memorable and impactful. And sure, there's a myriad of things I'd like to do that would be dynamic and interesting. But you have to do the best you can with what you're given. And that's always been our goal, is you give us this amount of minutes on TV. This is our segment. This is our promo, whatever it is. let me make this the best I can and do the best I can with what I'm given. And I truly feel that the three of us, I know Woods has been out for a little bit with his injury, but I feel like the three of us still have something special as a faction. There's like, we talk about brotherhood, and I get it can be a gimmick, but it's genuine and it's real. Like, we formed a very real bond. And a lot of that was forged through the fact that the beginning was so difficult. The first 6 to 9 months of trying to get this faction off the ground was very rocky. Like, there's so many times it was almost dead in the water. And we really forged a bond when we were told no. When we had someone put a wall up in front of us, we really grew because the three of us decided we're going all in on this group. All our chips are in on this. Like, this has to work, and we're not going to be denied. And it just put us on TV. So even though we had the vignettes that a lot of people didn't care for, and trust me, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't like about it either, but it was an opportunity. It was TV time. So we said, you know what? This might suck right now, but we're going to do our best to make it work. And I still feel like, as much as I know there are other things that we could do that would be interesting and fun and dynamic, I still feel like we offer so much more value as a trio right now than we would if they were to break us up and we go our separate ways. So yeah, I think it's always when people ask like the legacy questions, I don't know where to put us. Like, it's not my job to say where we are in the greatest stables or tag teams, but I do feel that we still have something to offer on TV as a trio.
Okay. All right.
Biggie, let me ask you a question. With Kofi having the singles run and with the title, do you see yourself, and maybe, I don't know if you can speak for Woods, do you guys see yourselves maybe taking that little of a break from the team and doing a singles run yourself?
Well, I mean, our thing was like, we always wanted, like I said, we wanted to be a faction. Like, that was like, Kofi would have his single stuff, Woods would have his single stuff. We could also go into tags. So I still think we can do everything we want to as a faction still. I can still do single stuff and the New Day is still intact. So that to me is, I'm prepared, of course, to do singles. I came in doing singles and never really saw myself as a tag team wrestler, but I love tag team wrestling and really grew to love it. But I'd love to do single stuff. That would be a lot of fun, but I still think we don't need to break up. We can do like something similar to what Kofi did, where we still stayed a faction, we were still together, and he pursued his single stuff. So yeah, man, I'm ready for it. But a lot of people are like, when are you going to go on your singles run? It's time for you to do what you do on your own. I don't write the show. You know it's entertainment. What do you want me to do, man? I just do my job the best I can. All right, I show up, and I'm ready to go.
It's funny you said that, because when I announced a couple of days ago that you were going to be on the show on Instagram, you got people looking at me that you need to book Big E as heavyweight champion. He needs a single run. And I'm responding to the same thing. I'm like, I'm a producer. Vince tells me what to do. I tell you guys what to do. We make his vision happen. I don't write the show.
Exactly.
That's all Vince.
Yeah.
He says that now, Big E, but when you're not on, he'll talk about how powerful he is back.
Listen, like I said before we went live, somebody's going to put themselves over, and why not put myself over?
Why not? I agree.
I do love that. But speaking of singles championships, obviously Kofi had that great moment, that great run up to WrestleMania. Can you walk us through being one of his closest friends during that whole the uprising and the popularity? Just all of that came at the right time.
Yeah, man, it was wild. I still remember I can't remember the live event, but we were in a locker room, and I remember Kofi getting the text that Ali was supposed to be in this gauntlet match, and now we're just like, Kofi was just, I don't want to call him a filler, but essentially that's what he was. And I was like, hey, you're going to go this hour. So he was really just intended to, hey, we had this direction for Ali. Unfortunately, he's hurt. So Kofi, you're in this slot. And that was it. It was so random. There was no real long-term intention. But the beautiful thing was, not only was Kofi ready, because a lot of times you're in a tag team and you're not in the back. You just get used to tagging out anytime you get blown up. But, Kofi's always in shape. He was ready. And just to see him take that moment and the way people gravitated towards it was really beautiful. So I think that, to me, that was really like the takeaway moment, is to always be ready for any opportunity. And he was ready in that moment. And I think people just have always like genuinely loved Kofi. Like, if you don't like Kofi, I get like he might not be your favorite or whatever. You might, but I almost feel like if you have like a hatred for Kofi, that you have to look within yourself. You have to examine yourself, and something's wrong. So you got some evil living in you if you got hatred for Kofi. Like he's just so just beloved by pretty much everyone. But it was just so dope to see the way people took to him. And then the thing is, like, I think people think there's often a long-term plan with WWE that is set in stone, and that 6 months out, we all know, like, week to week, we just keep waiting for this. Like, oh, you got this great reaction. It would make sense for this to continue and for you to ride this momentum into WrestleMania, but you never know. So we just kept waiting for things to unravel or for him to not be booked. But the way everything unraveled with Vince being on screen and trying to take away his opportunity and him having to do another gauntlet and then Vince screwing him again. And then it was dope for me and Woods too to be involved too. And we had that tag team gauntlet where we had to go an hour. And then that really memorable moment with the Usos I thought was beautiful, where they, instead of wrestling us in the gauntlet, they picked up a mic and said, we forfeit, good luck to Kofi on his way to WrestleMania. Like telling that story was beautiful because we had, had that really memorable run with the Usos too. So it was definitely, it was really a beautiful moment to see. The whole build I thought was almost flawless. And then the match at WrestleMania. And I will say, as much as Kofi deserves all the credit in the world, Daniel Bryan is one of the greatest of all time in so many ways. And Bryan, this doesn't happen without Bryan pushing for it. It also isn't the same if there's like Daniel Bryan and maybe like AJ, or there's like one other current wrestler, I think right now that would feel as impactful. But when he was able to win it off of a generational talent like Bryan, to me, made it so much more meaningful, especially because Bryan had a similar storyline with overcoming the odds and being told that he's not good enough. So it all somehow just came together perfectly. And it was just, it was really beautiful. I don't think I'm as much of a crier as Woods, but Woods couldn't hold back the tears. I like to make fun of him a little bit when he was, when we were raising Kofi up on our shoulders and just tears streaming down his face. It's just a beautiful sight. So I'll be teasing him about that for the next 15, 30 years or so.
The next forever. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I get that.
I got to agree with you, Biggie. It was a very magical thing. How the build up to the Gauntlet match and then going into WrestleMania, it was like a phenomenal thing. I mean, there was no holes in that story. How they did it was perfectly done, and how it was perceived by the fans from the first Gauntlet to the second was perfectly done. And like you said, building up into WrestleMania. And I think, not only did Woods and you feel the same thing when Kofi won the title, but I think, and this is just saying this, a lot of African Americans around the world felt that it was like finally a time when we overcame, because you didn't really see a black heavyweight champion in WWE. Not taking anything away from Booker T or not taking anything away from Mark Henry, but those two belts are too different. So for Kofi to win that belt, which had never been won before by an African American, it just made everybody just tear up and go, finally. It was almost like we overcame everything, and it was like, boom, we were here. So I thought it was beautifully done. The story was done and how it was made. And, it was just, again, like you said, it was tremendous.
Agreed.
Cool.
Don't get started on me now.
Okay, I have a question.
So Brian's got a question. Do you still have a close relationship with AJ Lee? Who?
Yeah. Well, AJ and I, she'll randomly text me like every 3 months or so. She's a great human being. I think we had the Book of Booty, whatever book we came out with that they wrote for us. She had her book at the same time, and she wrote me some text. I think her book was doing better than ours at the time. So she wrote something to tease me, but she's very clever, and she always like texts me on my birthday too. And it's usually very demeaning and underhanded, but there's some love slid in there too. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to see her success. She's doing stuff in comics. I think she's working on a TV pilot right now. But I'm really not the most communicative person. So there's a lot of people that I just really enjoy that I just kind of, I just let you just you get older and you don't text every day or every week. So it's been a little while, but I still actually got to see her. I was in LA a few years ago, and she had a book signing in town, and I just randomly crashed her book signing, and it was really cool to see her. I hadn't seen her in years, so yeah, it's cool to see her success.
Yeah, and I think it's all right. I mean, you're a little busy doing a little bit of everything, so you can't keep up with everybody.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Biggie, I gotta ask this.
Yes, sir.
You guys have been in the ring with the Usos. You've been in the ring with the Viking Raiders. You've been in the ring with the Bludgeon Brothers and a lot of tag teams, the Hardys.
Mm-hmm.
You've also been in the ring with the Dudleys.
Yes.
Now, I've got to ask this question. Who was the favorite tag team? Let's exclude the Dudleys.
Okay.
Who out of everybody else was your favorite tag team to work with, and why?
Minus the Dudleys, of course, who are obviously on a platform I could never, but everyone else who's a notch below, that's easily. And we worked a lot of great tag teams, but the Usos, man, there's nothing like. We just have really, really good chemistry with them in the ring, outside the ring. We see the business the same way. We're selfless about because a lot of guys are just trying to, you know how it is, shoehorn their stuff in, even when it doesn't make sense. And I need to do my moves here when it doesn't make sense. The Usos it's just so easy to put the matches together, the way they see matches, the way they see match structure, their athleticism, the way when they moved to SmackDown, the way they just flipped things and got edgier and just were more of themselves and got rid of the face paint. To me, it's easy. It's a no-brainer. It's the Usos. And then we also got to run with them for it's like 4 months. We were the Usos, and I don't think it really petered out. It just got better and better and better until we got to that Hell in a Cell. And we got like 30 minutes in the Hell in a Cell, and I thought it was awesome. So yeah, Usos easily. Minus, of course, the Dudleys, who are God tier, up here in the clouds. If I could, my hand would be, I would dig a hole through the ceiling. I would put it over my roof. That's how high they are. But down here, we're actually like screen level. That's Usos. Yeah.
Well, one of the greatest thing is that I got to produce a lot of those matches with you guys. And it was, again, my first run as a producer coming into the company, and they stuck me right with you guys. And, when you're producing and you're calling things and spots to the truck, when you got guys flying everywhere and you're trying to keep up with it, it's hard as hell. And writing it, having these guys go over the match, and then I'm in the back trying to write it down so I can remember and put it in my brain. I'm like, Big, I'm sorry. Can you slow down, please?
Yeah.
Can you tell me again what you're going to do? I mean, it was great. And again, watching that magic between you guys, again, I hate to, try to keep using the Dudleys, Edge, and Christian and the Hardys, but it was almost kind of like that. Just when you thought you saw it all, we were able to come and bring out another dynamic that made us, put us on another, platform higher than some of the other tag teams that had come before us. And I think you guys did the same with the Usos. Just when we thought we saw it all, here he is. We put you guys together, and another week, another match, and you guys blew that one out the water, and so forth and so on. And then you go to Hell in a Cell, and that was just truly incredible. I mean, to see Woods kind of like, handcuffed to the apron, and they're taking the stick, and that kendo stick, and whooping him. I felt his pain because he was literally screaming. Yeah. And at first I thought he was just selling. And I remember when you guys were done and you come in the back, I go, man, that was great, man. The way you sold that when he took the kendo stick and he started beating you. I mean, you act like it really hurt. He goes, Dvon, it did hurt. Look at me. Look at me. He had whelps all over his chest, all over his stomach. I mean, but again, you guys go out there, and regardless of the pain, regardless of what, you're going to go out there and put on a show. You're going to entertain, and that's exactly what you do. And every night you guys are together, the four of you, you hit a home run.
Yeah, man. And I remember too, because there's three of us, so I think there was either a pay-per-view or two where I was on the outside, and I remember watching this, knowing that we were going like for another like couple months, and I said, I don't want to follow this. You're watching this, like it's like, all right, you're happy for him because you don't want the match to suck. But I'm standing there thinking, God damn, I don't want to follow this. I got to do something better than this. But the dope thing was like it continued to get better. I want to say we had like 4 consecutive pay-per-views. We also had like a random, we were in Las Vegas and we had a street fight where I think the titles might have changed hands too. And I remember that because there was a big hurricane threatening Florida. I couldn't get any flights, like the Tampa airport was shut down. And I almost missed that day, but I actually hopped in a car. I got an Uber all the way to Orlando from Tampa, which is like 100 miles. Hopped in a car with Breeze and with Zack Ryder, and we drove. Ryder drove all the way from Orlando to Atlanta from like maybe like 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. just to be able to catch our 6 a.m. flight, just to get to the building in Las Vegas just in time. But yeah, I remember barely getting there in time, but we got there, and then we put on a fun street fight with the Usos, and we kept going with those guys.
Now, on your show this week, you apparently talked about Reverend Dvon possibly joining the New Day.
It was discussed.
That's good.
Well, he's a man, I will say, he's influential, obviously. He grew up, he had my dad is a preacher, and Dvon's parents were preachers. And there's a lot, that preacher delivery is something that I kind of try to borrow from Reverend Dvon. I have a lot of respect for the character as well. So, it's a direction that we could go at some point. Plus, I think it's the collection plate is a good side hustle. And I think that's something when we got fans back again, I feel like, we all got bills. So
Yes, we do.
if we want to pass the plate, I feel like I don't want to steal that from Dvon. I feel like he should be there passing the plate with us.
Well,
You know what? And I think I can. The only thing is we have to make sure that the APA, Ron Simmons and Bradshaw is not there. Because when I Dvon gimmick, and I was coming to the back with all that money from the collection plate, they were there to take it to have a beer run. So I never got to really keep the money. They taxed me. I got taxed. It was bad, man. It was bad. They let me keep $1 or $2, but that was about it.
now, I hope you don't mind, Big E, but I decided I was going to mock up what Dvon in the New Day could look like.
Ooh, let's see it.
Oh, shucks. Here we go. Wait a minute.
What a look. What a look.
My God.
That's it.
I've never seen him in that much color before.
Table O's too.
That's
I like that.
beautiful.
At least that's my real body.
Right.
That's beautiful.
That looks
It
legit.
is, actually. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you don't even need me. I could take a couple months off and without a hitch.
No. Let me put it this way. As far as I'm concerned, my bumping days are over. I was just telling somebody the other day, 5, 6, even 10 years ago, it didn't hurt. And then all of a sudden I come back to WWE and didn't realize that each generation gets bigger, faster, and stronger. And with every punch, I felt. With every kick from Kofi, I felt. With every slap in the back of my head by Woods.
Right. And I was very light with you. Very ginger with you.
Brother, you crushed me. In a good way, though.
Well, yes.
In a very, very good way.
Thank you.
My brother, testify.
Thank you.
My brother.
Can you start dressing like that with more color in your everyday life there, Dvon? Come on, man.
Oh, I could. If it meant tagging up with the New Day, Big E, Kofi, and Woods, I definitely would do it. And actually, I like that little picture of me dressing up as a New Day. That might, that might work. Big E, we might have to talk to your people that make your stuff. And yeah, we might have to put me in an outfit like that. I think I like it. The only difference is I want to be able to wear pants. I got no legs. I got twigs for legs.
You can't ruin the look with pants, man.
Right.
It's got to come as is. That's the look.
But can I at least wear camos? No camos. All right. Then how about I'm just gonna have kick pads from the bottom where my foot is.
Right. You don't.
The shoes.
Yeah. People don't need to see those calves. You're right.
No.
Okay.
I'm not like Bubba. I'm not like Calfzilla, as he likes to say.
You're talking about the collection tray. You don't want to take the collection tray from Dvon, but at the same time, you have your own tray of pancakes with the booty of the pancakes. Are we moving into waffles or scrambled eggs soon? What's the next breakfast?
I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. It's we were in the pancakes for a long time, probably too long, because it was like supposed to be one time. Like, hey, we had a lumberjack match against Kevin and Sammy. We thought it was funny, so we just kept doing it, and then it was like another 3 years. But it's hard to there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, all right, this is kind of run its course. But then you go to these live events and people are still chanting for pancakes. So who are we to deny the people what they want? I think scrambled eggs might be the next route to go.
Oh God!
Just a vat, maybe a wheelbarrow of scrambled eggs filled to the brim.
Oh.
And I like wet scrambled eggs, just fresh out the pot, wet, buttery. And I'll wear a glove now. I'll wear a glove, but I just see myself digging in and hurling a handful of scrambled eggs at the nearest child. That's what I'd like.
Ooh, you put any down your tights, and then
yes, right. It'll be very soggy down there. There might be some hairs that come out of there as well, but that's
I'll
on
make
you.
sure not be at that one.
Right. Or wear a poncho, maybe.
Right.
New day poncho. All right, here we go.
Now, Big, one question I got to ask you: who trained you? How did you break into the business?
I have the worst story of getting into the business there is, because so whenever we have this question asked, and all three of us are doing media or something, Woods and Kofi have these stories of being told for years they're too small. They've always wanted to be wrestlers since they were little kids, being denied time and time again, and how they had to fight and scratch and claw, and they finally got into a door in OVW or FCW, and they finally made it. My story is a horrible story because I was a failed football player. I was 23 years old. I was in grad school at the time, and I just knew a guy who knew Jim Ross, and I was at Iowa at the time, and Iowa has this great tradition of amateur wrestling. So this guy, Mike Doty, actually was connected with Jim Ross, and he said, hey, like any former Iowa wrestlers who want to get involved with WWE, let us know. So he was just kind of like a scout for WWE. And one of the guys that I played football with, Mike Humple, he knew Mike Doty and introduced us and is like, hey, maybe you want to give WWE a shot. So essentially, he asked me, I said, let's give it a shot. I took some weird half-naked pictures to send to the office because they want to get an idea of your physique. And then they flew me down to Tampa for a tryout. I did my week-long tryout at FCW in 2009, like summer of 2009, with Dr. Tom Pritchard, with Norman Smiley. And I was there for a week. And then I flew back up to Iowa during the summer. And I just kind of sat around and waited for a call. And then I got the call and I was signed. I flew down. So I'm just a meathead who someone said, hey, you want to give this a shot? I said, I guess so. And then I got signed. It's a horrible story. What you want is a story of perseverance, someone who loved the business from a little child and always wanted to do this. So I was a big wrestling fan as a kid. But I think I'm from Tampa, which is, like the South, I guess. Some people don't consider the South. But anyways, I grew up on WCW. So I watched a lot of WCW. I love WCW. But I think around the time that WCW got bought out, I was like 13, 14. So around like 99, 2000-ish, I kind of like felt like, I'm over wrestling. And I kind of moved on anyways. So I hadn't really watched. I met Goldberg at a signing when I was a kid. He was my guy. He was incredible. So I was a big wrestling fan. But then at 13, 14, I kind of stopped watching. And then this opportunity just comes out of nowhere. So it's a really, really bad story of just a guy who had some muscles and they offered a job. I would never, ever get signed in this current climate because you either have to have like a name on the indies or you're like, these guys are like Olympians or just have a lot more accolades than I did. And it was, I got to FCW in August of 2009. And Dr. Tom Norman trained me. Billy Kidman would be down there for a little bit. A year or so later, Joey Mercury. Mercury helped me a lot. Dr. Tom Pritchard helped me tremendously. And then 11 years later, I'm still here. I took this job on a whim. But I grew to love it. And I can't imagine doing anything else, honestly. I think about this often, too. My first several years in the business, I kind of, it's just kind of weird being in the ring and you look around and you're half naked and I felt kind of self-conscious. But now like the last like 4 or 5 years, sometimes I feel more at ease in a ring than I do in my normal life. Like this is where I have this opportunity to be completely uninhibited, to do whatever I want. But some of the things they let me get away with are ridiculous. I love just pushing that line of just putting my toe out a little bit further every single week just to see if I get yelled at and see if anyone says anything when I come to the back. And for the most part, no one says anything. So sometimes I'm like, okay, let me see if I can hump these ring ropes and if anything will happen. No one says anything. One time I'll just hump the ground just to pop myself or to pop the boys and no one says anything. So that's really what I've come to enjoy as I've grown older is just seeing where that line is. seeing what things I can hump, what objects I can hump, and so that's my life. And somehow I don't get in trouble. So until then,
that's a good thing.
I loved you rolling down the ramp a couple weeks ago.
I said, why not? You know, it just a lot of this stuff just comes to me on a whim. It's like, you know what? I feel like I've been just coming down to the ring fairly normally for a while. Let me log roll down. I thought it would be funny, and I did it. And no one stopped me.
Great. And the great part about it is, you know, I'm one headset, and I'm Kevin Dunn. You have Vince, and you have the writer, and some other people that are on headsets. And Biggie don't know it, but as he's doing this, everyone is losing it on headset. They are cracking up. So it's to a testament to him that he tries these things. And it works. It just really works because it's Big E. And that's what you have to know about it when he does it. Everybody is just on the floor, just in laughter all the way through. So good thing.
I didn't know that. Because my thing is to, like, I'm not going to be Brock or Braun. I'm 5'11". You know, there's always going to be, you know, Bobby Lashley looks like incredible, like he's made of marble. So you have to find a way to be different. You have to find a way to, you know, just stand out a little bit. So being the biggest monster wasn't going to be my thing. And I tried to find a way to stand out from the other guys who were bigger. So it's been cool to find my own lane. And hey, it's not for everyone. And I get that. I'm not saying I'm everyone's cup of tea, but there's some real weirdos, some real freaks out there who seem to enjoy it. So that's why I do it.
Well, there's a question from AC, and he says, what is the most ridiculous thing that they allowed you to get away with?
And this is the sour guy from earlier, by the way, too. So
shame on you, AC. I'm probably forgetting something, but we had a promo with The Rock, and he, you know, The Rock, probably the greatest mic worker of all time, greatest promo guy. I think we said llama penis like a dozen times on TV. Yeah, so that's something, that's probably it, because I didn't think you could actually say that. We said it many times, and I think, yeah, that was probably it. I'm sure there are other things too, but that's up there.
I think when you're in the ring with The Rock and he grabs the mic, right now, The Rock, you have to be careful because you just don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. Right. He'll just say about anything. So if The Rock can say it and then you follow along with it, chances are you ain't going to get in trouble.
Yeah. But we were fired up too. When we had a promo segment with The Rock, we were like, I know, damn, there's a lot of people from our generation who he would just steamroll because a lot of people don't want to step on toes and it's The Rock. But we were fired up. As soon as we found out about the promo seg, we locked ourselves in a room and this is so much that we left on the cutting room floor that we're like, that we were ready to try to eviscerate because we were like, this is our opportunity. Like, he's not going to steamroll us. He's not just going to clown us. And like, we have to run out there and take our rock bottoms and he'll do his shtick. But as far as an opportunity to talk, like, and this is us, I don't remember what year this was. This is probably like 2015-ish. We were getting hot. We were pretty hot, but we were still like trying to really solidify our name. So it was just cool to have that real competitive spirit of like, all right, he's going to come out with some lines, but we're going to give it back to him. And that's like not for me to judge too, but it's cool to measure yourself against some of the greatest of all time. And it definitely, like, it invigorates you. It excites you to sharpen your sword.
I know we're running out of time here. Got to let you go. But who haven't you worked with yet that you want to?
Ooh, man, really good question. It's for a while, I really wanted to do something. We did something at Survivor Series with Undisputed Era, but I would like to do like a full program with Undisputed Era, like with some build and whatnot. Would have been fun. I'm trying to think, who else have we not worked with? It's kind of hard. I guess there's not many guys we haven't done anything with. Maybe, I don't know, because we've done stuff with Brock too. I haven't had like an official match with Brock. But if forced to pick one, maybe Brock. Let's say Brock.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And Reverend Dvon. Right.
Done. You're retired.
Just an homage. I would never disrespect you by striking you. So I just want to. No, never.
By striking you.
Now when he's a part of the team.
There it is.
Yeah. See,
Look at
there
him.
you go. You know what? I'm actually going to take that picture, blow it up, because that body really looks great, and it's mine, so I love it.
Oh, gotcha.
With some bootios in the middle of it. Love it.
There you go.
Table
Speaking of
O's.
bootios,
Table
one
O's.
last.
Come on, Dvon.
Yeah, well, table O's. Okay, table O's.
Thank
Table
you.
But you got to
Table
admit,
O's.
Big E is on the thing, so you got to say Big E. You got to say bootios. I mean, if not,
Out of
just
respect. Out of respect.
Out of respect.
Thank
You
you.
got to
Yeah,
do it.
thank you.
Well, Biggie, thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you on, and I just can't say thank you enough. You are a true gentleman and a scholar and a comedian at heart.
No, not me. I appreciate it. No, sincerely, thank you for having me on. Thank you for always being so good to us. Thank you for producing all our matches and not yelling at us. I do appreciate that. Thank you for taking all the heat from Vince and whatnot, and appreciate it. And thank you all. Thank you both for having me on as well. Appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Biggie.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So
That was
He
good.
seems
Let me
nice.
tell you, Big
I-
E is probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the
He
locker room.
seems really
I
nice.
don't think there's not a person in the wrestling business today that would actually, can say anything or bad about Big E. I mean, he's just one of those guys that everybody loves.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
awesome.
he's
He's been in business for a while too, so
Yeah, he's been genuinely a good guy.
Oh darn! John's message came in just a little bit too late. Oh, how unfortunate.
Listen,
You picked
darn.
the table now.
listen,
Oh.
I'll do it for 75 if you give it to me.
Oh, that's funny.
Dvon had probably hurt his knees or something in the meantime. It's fine.
You know what
I'm gonna run.
the funniest thing is, and I think I told you both, right now I'm in the process of getting my whole body checked out, my knees, my back, my neck, and all of that, because I figured, what the heck, I got great insurance, so I might as well go get it checked out. And today I went to go do the MRI, and I had to cancel because it was an open MRI. But when I spoke to the people, I said, listen, I get very claustrophobic. Even though it's an open MRI, I said, I cannot, you have to drug me. I have to do some type of volume. And the guy says, oh, no, don't worry about it. You're going to be, half of your body's going to be out. We only need to do your knees. And only your legs are going in. So I said, oh, okay. Then if that's the case, then that's good. So what happened when I get there? They wound up pushing me all the way when I got to this point. And I just went, no. I said, nope. I said, take me out. So we had to cancel. And they're going to put me in another machine. But man, I can't do those MRIs, man. I told Taylor, I said, man, when I get old, and which I'm not that far from, but when I get to the point where I got to have MRIs all the time, forget it. You're going to have to sedate me. I cannot do it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I had an MRI. It lasted 2 hours. It was the scariest 2 hours of my life.
I started hyperventilating. That's how bad it was. I'm just, I'm like, yeah. I started getting naked in there. I started taking off everything, and the lady got mad and told me to put my clothes back on.
Yeah, I can see that happening for sure.
I don't know if that was an insult or not. I mean, hey.
And you weren't even on drugs, so there's that.
And what does that tell you?
Yikes.
Maybe you shouldn't be sedated.
Don't accompany him to the hospital is what we're saying.
When you strap him to the bed.
Something about you earlier today when we were talking off the air. You have a fear of needles as well, Dvon.
Oh, absolutely. I don't like needles. They usually say the big guys are the ones that are scared of the needles. And I happen to think that is really so, because put a needle near me and I'm screaming like a little girl. It's that bad. I flinch before the needle even comes close to my arm. Okay. Cannot take needles, don't like it. But I tell you what, this coronavirus thing, now with WWE, we have to test all the time now. So now we have to get this test taken all the time. The thing, the swab that they stick up your nose, it seems to me every time they do it, it gets thinner and thinner. So now I'm getting like really nervous every time I have to go in. And with that being said, now all of a sudden I'm more scared of the swab than I am the needle.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a bad thing for me now.
Oh no. Do you have any brain cells left?
I don't know. And I even said to somebody, I said all of this freaking testing that we're doing now, which I understand, because Vince wants everybody to be safe going into the building. We want to take precautions. Everyone has to wear a mask, at all times, with the exception of the part when you're eating, which is what's pretty much going on now all around. But, it's one of those things where you have to do it. If you want to be employed by the WWE, you have to do it. And I'll be honest with you, they're taking the necessary precautions to go out there and to do what they got to do to try to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. And my hat goes off to Vince and the whole WWE staff. They really are doing what they have to do to make sure. Whether people want to say, oh, now they're doing this and that, no, they've been doing, but now it's even more. Because again, the numbers with this pandemic has gotten even higher, tripled, and quadrupled. And the thing is, we have to be safe. People still fighting to keep the mask on or to wear it. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Well, when someone you love gets sick or you get sick and you're on a ventilator, please don't ask us to pray for you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But if you're not sitting up there taking a precaution to sit up there to prevent this from happening, and then if you get it, now all of a sudden you're sick. Why? Why? When you knew better. This is the time to do it. Excuse me.
Oh, my brother.
Testify.
Yeah.
All that talking, I was losing my throat.
Well, we'll give you a second to catch up. Lindsay, do you have any fear, like any irrational fear?
Irrational?
Maybe rational, whatever.
I think crickets. Those are that's a rational fear.
Crickets.
Crickets?
We're just gonna go to bugs. Their legs, they're big. They jump.
Crickets are like the friendliest animal.
I don't think so. We have things that live in our basement that jump, and then they disappear, and they're huge, and they're nasty, and they're crickets, and I don't like them.
Have you ever thought about calling pest control?
I'll think
Just
about
saying. That. I mean, I did make the suggestion that you do the show from your house because of the view that you had when we were on here.
Yeah.
And going over. But now you're telling me about these.
I mean, it's a balance. I have a beautiful view, but I have crickets.
I'm bringing
a puzzle I need help with.
And letting it loose in the middle of the show just to see her freak out.
Hold on. I got one even better. We should stay over at the house, spend the night, and then wait for Lindsay to fall asleep and get a whole bunch of crickets and dump them in the bed.
I love it.
That's a no. Mm-mm. No.
And this is the last time Lindsay ever appeared on Table Talk.
There will be some shenanigans going on.
Oh my God. But needles, I don't like getting my blood drawn or getting injections. However, is it? Okay. But I work with animals and I'm constantly giving vaccines, drawing blood, placing IV catheters, some round needles. I stab my hands at least once a day. Those dogs are wiggling, those cats are hissing, scratching, and you've got an open needle, and I probably have all these weird animal diseases in my hand.
Okay, but so let me get this straight. You're sticking yourself just about every week because trying to get the dog, they move out the way or what have you, they're fidgety. So you wind up stabbing yourself. What's in that damn syringe that you're not concerned about?
Well, I'm definitely vaccinated against rabies. I cannot get kennel cough. I probably have had some vaccines mostly. Yeah, I'm vaccinated for all the dog viruses.
Are you half animal after all of these injections?
I might be now. I might be.
Are you sure you are not part cricket?
Shut up.
Hence why they're drawn to you.
No, they're not drawn to me. They just live in this area.
Hey, here's the deal.
Not because of me.
All these vaccines she's getting, she probably got the cure for the coronavirus and doesn't even know.
I might have my blood might hold the cure.
I'll have to share it with everybody.
No, not you. Not you guys. No. You.
Don't worry. We'll wait and do the show.
Crickets. The cricket.
We'll wait to do the show at her house, wait for her to fall asleep, maybe drug something in her wine, and then we'll get the blood and we'll test it out for ourselves.
Since you said that out loud, now I'm an accomplice to this. Damn it! Now
both of you. No, I'm gonna give you a cure. Not anymore.
Nope. The whole world's cut off now because of you guys.
You're on my list.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, if anybody's wondering, my fear is actually drowning.
Well, that's a rational fear.
If I can't like touch the bottom, I freak out. And I've learned how to swim.
Really?
So it's not like
Wow.
I've never tried, but just something happens that like I get overwhelmed and I don't think straight, and I'd be dead.
Oh,
Well, some people, that's not really an awkward thing, because I think when you look at it, you have no control. If you can't feel the bottom, you have no control. So I think that's a normal thing. Like some people are scared of clowns. Some people are scared of balloons. Yeah, I don't know. This is
I don't like balloons.
phobia.
Some people try.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
What?
It's crazy.
Some people try to have sex with balloons. And like there's people that are scared of balloons, and there's other people that love balloons.
Mo, how do you have sex with a balloon?
No, I don't know. I don't know. What was that? There was that one show. It was like on TLC or it was like A&E. One of those shows that these guys that would eat weird things or
My Strange Addiction.
That's how I know this. It's not like it's from it's from personal experience, but
that's what I thought.
But how do you have sex with a balloon? What? I mean, don't get me wrong.
On the friction.
The friction ain't no friction. If you put two balloons together, and never mind.
How do you have
static electricity?
Even Google took a moment. It's like, really? You're asking that question right now?
Report to government.
Well, women wouldn't be able to have sex with balloons. I mean, that's almost impossible. How would you be able to have sex with a balloon, Lindsay?
Very third story from The Sun in the UK. Woman has sex with balloons and says the thrill comes from knowing they can ... I'm clicking on the article. Pop at any time. That's the excitement.
Good God.
Time, much like you and many of your impregnations, Dvon.
There's been several.
How many kids? How many kids do you have?
19.
You have 19 children?
19.
19
No,
kids.
I have 6. I have 6, 4 boys and 2 girls.
Oh, yeah.
4 boys and 2 girls.
Sex with a balloon. That's the Table Talk t-shirt slogan right there.
I love it. I think we should do it.
I would wear it and then make sure you couldn't see my shirt on screen.
Yes, I'll make sure. I'll bring it down like this.
Nope.
I'm gonna be looking at this all day now. Like the FBI's probably tapped my phone. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, there's gonna be FBI surrounding your house, Mo.
Yeah, you're gonna be surrounded here in a little bit.
So I'm looking at 12 secrets that someone with a balloon fetish won't tell you. So
this is a real thing.
It is a thing. I told you it's a thing.
I didn't believe you.
Crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe somebody would actually really try to have sex with a balloon.
I have a question for you guys.
Talk to
Dvon, have you done your taxes?
Yes, I actually did mine in February.
Oh, good. How about you, Mo?
Mine were done. Yeah.
I think I did mine in April, like what would have been the original deadline.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As soon as I got my return, I filed. I got my return. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And that was the same thing with me. As soon as I got mine, I filed it and sent it right.
There's a lot of people.
That's the first time in probably almost 20-something years since I've been wrestling, I actually got my return that early and had it done within 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Nice.
So proud of you.
But now, I'm an employee of the company. So usually when you're a talent, you're a 1099, so you're an independent contractor.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all this stuff that you got to come in. My tax return was like this. It was like a book. And all the states that we wrestled in and did anything in, we had to file taxes in. So it was very time consuming to do my taxes. And again, like other talent, every state and the countries as well. And so that's why it took so long. But now, I'm an employee of the company, which is out of Stamford, Connecticut. So now it's only one place, and that's it.
TurboTax takes care of it.
No, I still got my accountant, though. He charges me a lot less. I used to get mad and say I was going to fire him every year because every time I see my tax bill, I get hot. Now, this year, I was like, I think I'll keep him. It's less work.
Yeah, no,
Less
I
work.
definitely I'm in that bracket where TurboTax, they offer it for you for free because they're like, we would just take your return if we charged you. So
Okay.
cool.
Well, I mean,
That's
again,
really
it's just one.
interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm not more involved in the tax talk here, but I am learning a lot about sex with balloons right now.
I was
This
trying
is,
to get you off of that, Mo.
What is wrong
Trying to
with
get
you,
me
man?
off of that. Come on, Lindsay.
Lindsay, you have to choose your words
You
wisely
really do.
when we're
I know
talking
this,
about
but I'm out of
getting him off.
line.
When he's
All right.
talking about balloons.
So Dvon, because I
Okay.
know you're a freak, so I know you're curious about this. You can't do it with a regular balloon. You got to get a Zeppelin balloon, which apparently is more durable and higher quality.
What's a
A
Zeppelin?
Zeppelin.
Okay.
Yeah, what's a Zeppelin balloon?
I haven't got
Durable and high quality.
but it comes in different shapes and whatnot, and it can help increase normal sexual activity. It could help make things, more saucy. So, like one woman wrote that she likes to get it doggy style while leaning on a balloon.
What's the pleasure of that? I'm really trying to find. Listen, I know people are freaks, and there's all different types of things. But if you're laying on a balloon,
I can't even
and
picture
someone's
that.
doing
Does
your
it pop?
doggy style, it depends on how big the person is. leaning on it.
That's a part of it, is you never know when it's going to pop. So
that's one of my biggest fears. No, nope.
That's
Well,
one
I
of
already
your
knew I didn't
fears.
want to do that, but the popping
Crickets
balloons
and balloons popping.
and clowns and sharks and tornadoes.
I was about to
What
say,
about
what about a
Sharknado?
clown?
Sharknado was absolutely awful.
Okay.
I mean, I like the movies now,
I'm
but
sorry, Dvon. I could go all day. Go ahead, man.
No. I'm just saying, clowns are a different story for Lindsay. I can definitely see her dating a clown and being with someone and wearing the makeup, and at night, you guys making passionate love and half of the paint smeared on your face, and I can see that happening because you love clowns so much.
is that the vibe I give off when you met me? that kind of interaction with a clown.
Yeah.
Man,
See, I didn't say that. Mo did.
first impression was way off.
Yeah, you can't see it, but item number 12 distinctly says, "You've got a balloon fetish. You're totally normal." That's what it said.
All right, time to come clean. So, guys, I have this fetish.
Mm.
I was worried that it wasn't normal, but it is.
Oh,
So
well.
balloons.
Do you want me to forward this to you, Dvon, or
No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. That's like the
gotta pay
freaking
myself.
Tiger King. That's like the Tiger, whatever king you call. I'm good. I don't need to worry about that.
I got my
Are
Tiger
you
King
wearing a
shirt on.
Tiger King shirt?
Mhm.
Oh,
Well,
Carol
not
Baskin.
yeah. Killed her husband, whacked him.
you got your watch too?
Oh, I took it off.
Oh, okay.
It was,
You have a Tiger King watch.
it came in a 3-pack. It's a little cheetah print. It's cute.
Lindsay,
I wear it for
Lindsay,
you. I only wear it for you.
Oh.
do me a favor. Don't wear it for me no more. Just stop.
Oh,
Stop, Lindsay.
stop
Just
it.
stop.
Don't be like, I'll wear it. It's okay. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind.
So are you guys familiar with Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love? Kurt
Yes.
Cobain, Nirvana and whatnot, Courtney.
Mhm.
So I do a daily poll on my radio station, and today's question is, who do you trust more, Courtney Love or Carol Baskin?
I say Courtney.
Mm.
Yeah.
I say Courtney. Listen, there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there that think that she was the one
Yeah.
that killed, Kurt. But I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But then again, for those that do, the only one I could probably think that could actually believe that, those who were close to those two at the time,
Right.
those who knew them inside and out.
Right.
Kurt probably said something to somebody about something, and being that nobody has stepped forward, at least, and I don't think they has stepped forward and said, "Hey, Kurt told me this, Kurt told me that," and blah blah blah. So that doesn't give me any reason to think that Courtney probably tried to have him murdered. What could she possibly gain by it?
Right.
Because if I'm not mistaken, she didn't get any fortune. She didn't get Nirvana's royalties or anything like that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Kurt, took care of business in the event that if something happened to him.
Right.
I don't know. I could
Right.
be totally wrong, but I don't
I
believe
don't know
she
anything about
benefit from that at all.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a fun question because, as most
I
people
like
are
that.
answering, neither. They don't trust either of them right now, and that's
Really?
probably a
interested
good
in what
idea
Courtney
right
Love
there. Yeah.
Aim with the potato is.
Well, I
I
mean,
throw a potato
again,
just to get away from him.
listen, I would trust Courtney over her. And not to mention, I think Courtney's a lot better looking.
Okay. All right.
Well, that, yeah, I can, yeah, I agree with that.
So,
Have you seen
you know.
Courtney lately, though?
No.
No, I haven't.
I mean, I think it's easy to remember Courtney Love from the 90s and like early 2000s, that look, but keep in mind that was at least 20 years ago. So
So
Is
crazy.
it rough looking? Is she rough
no,
looking?
not rough by any means, but just time catches up to all of us, and it's starting to catch up to her is all.
Well, in my opinion, with my old age, I'm beginning to enjoy women, and when they get older, I'm like an older women fan now.
Aren't you a
I
fan
think it's
of
good 'cause
anything?
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
pretty much.
What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I just had to put that out there.
Big fan of the younger women and the women his
Big fan
age.
of the older.
Older
Oh, yeah,
men.
absolutely. Older.
Blondes, brunettes,
Listen, I would date a
funny
grandma
girls,
if I had
pretty
to.
girls. What?
Women-shaped balloons.
Wait, what? No,
The balloons.
no balloons.
dolls.
No, not happening. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not any other day. Sorry, Mo. That is not happening.
We did get this a little bit ago. I've been doing a fundraiser through my radio station for the Animal Protective League of Central Illinois. And within 3 days, reached my goal. So people this way are outstanding. But I'm trying to double it now. So 2,000 is the new goal. And John suggests that if I reach 2,000, Dvon, you can put me through a table.
Yeah.
I can put John or you through the table.
Me through a table.
How about for $1 and I'll put Mo through a table?
No, he needs this for his charity.
Charity.
Oh no, I know. I get that, but I just want to do it anyway.
What's that, Dvon? You're breaking up. I can't.
You heard me.
I can't hear you. What? What?
Turn that
It's shaky.
That's great.
We do
I
need
can't
to
hear
wrap
Lindsey
this
now.
up, though. So,
Well, again, it was a pleasure again on Table Talk having Big E, and then, of course, when Big E's done, we have nothing but fun with each other. And wow, and no balloons. I will have a balloon on the next show, though. I'll tell you that much.
and we're gonna debut Unpopular Opinion, where we're gonna start having some fun. We'll do some arguing here and there, and yeah. So next week, Unpopular Opinion, and can we promote our guest?
Next week, I believe we can. I believe it has been confirmed. Sarah Logan, former WWE superstar. We had her husband on last week, the Viking Ratings, Eric, and now we're going to have Sarah Logan. So I can't wait to talk to her and her new arrival coming in 9 months. For those of you that don't know, they went public and said that they are expecting a little bundle of joy. So I'm very, very excited to speak to Sarah. Have not spoke to her since her departure from WWE. So it's going to be really cool to hear her thoughts and how she feels about now becoming a new mom.
Very last question, then we wrap this up. Dvon, it's not your child, is it?
Hell no. I'm not trying to get beat up by the Viking Raiders. What are you trying to do? Stop it.
I'm just making sure. I don't want to have to broadcast that violence.
Listen, they carry axes and all of that. No.
Just making
No.
sure.
You ain't trying to get me killed.
I'm making sure. I don't want to broadcast death.
Stop talking, Mo.
God.